I'm like, I can't let this dog, because we had talked about what we were going to do with her.
Yeah.
We were going to keep her in the program or potentially euthanize her, which we both didn't want to do, or none of us wanted to do.
Yeah.
But it was just like a case of like, what should we do?
All right. Welcome to our very first podcast episode with Jade and I from Lifeline. We're excited. We're also nervous. There's a lot of like lights and fancy equipment, but the purpose of the podcast is to share more about our organization, Lifeline of Galveston County. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and our mission is to reach a time where the county municipal animal shelters don't have to euthanize pets for space. And we've been doing this since 2020. We opened an adoption center in 2023. Jade, when you started working with us in 2023. Yeah. And so, yeah, Jade and I are going to talk a little bit about Lifeline and like why we got into this work. And then in other episodes, we're going to bring in some of the people in our community who do a lot of work with pets and talk more to them about what they're doing. If you didn't know, Texas is the highest kill state in the country for animals, followed by California. So we're trying to change that here in Galveston County. Jade, we have questions to keep us organized. Tell us about yourself and what brought you to Lifeline and what you do at Lifeline.
I don't know how to answer about myself. So what brought me to Lifeline was the Cat Cafe.
The Cat Cafe. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Oh, did I not tell you?
No.
Okay. Here's the story.
Yay.
So I kept seeing the Cat Cafe on Facebook for like months, and I kept on wanting to go in, but I just never had the time. And then y'all posted that y'all were hiring, and I was looking for a new job. I was trying to leave my current job for a while. I was so ready to leave that job. So we're hiring, and I just applied just to see how it would go.
Just see how we go.
Yeah. And I've always wanted to work with animals because I had been volunteering at Bayou Animal Services and League City Animal Care the previous years, all throughout middle school and high school. So I've always like been working with animals.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's try it.
Let's try it out. I remember interviewing you because you were like the first group of people I ever interviewed in my whole life. Could you tell? No? Good. I like tried to be organized, but I remember that. That was exciting. And then you came on as a kennel tech. Yeah.
And then I guess kennel tech to admin assistant to
Mhm.
now admin lead.
Admin lead, yes. Jade is very good on a computer. I get like, sometimes I feel like a dinosaur. And I like used to think I was very techie, and now you just like can fix stuff that I can't fix.
I just like to push buttons.
That's good. That's
I
good
just
advice.
Push buttons until stuff happens.
There you go. That's good advice. Well, I guess I'll say like what brought me into Lifeline. So I started Lifeline with two other ladies in 2020, and we met in a coffee shop in Lamarck. It was Art of Coffee. And I previously worked at one of the shelters in the area that had not the greatest live release rate, and like really wanted to make a difference. And I went to some cool conferences. You got to go to an Austin,
Yes.
or not, well, you went to Austin for a conference, but when I like wanted to start an organization, it was because I went to an Austin Pets Alive conference in 2020, right before the world shut down. And like, there's so many amazing ideas. And I was like, I'm going to do this, but it was really hard to do in the organization we were in. And yeah, and I had no idea how hard it would be, but here we are. And now Jade works for Lifeline, and it's great.
Oh, thanks.
Yes. What was your first experience in animal rescue like? Was there a moment that made you realize that you wanted to stick around?
Um, so like I mentioned earlier, it was really started off with so Bayou Animal Services was the first.
I didn't know you like volunteered at Bayou. That's
Yeah, for middle
awesome.
school because I went to Catholic school, so we had to have volunteer hours.
Hmm.
So like I went from Catholic school, middle
So
school,
you did it like
high
when they
school.
were like had just opened, probably.
Um, Jesus, when was I in middle school? Like
You
20.
act like you're like 40 years old.
I feel like I'm
You
40
feel
years
like
old.
you're 40 years old. You like, okay, when did you graduate
In
high school?
2022.
Oh my gosh. 2022. So 2018, 2017, 2016. I guess that
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's
So,
okay. So it started there, and it was my mom. Well, I was by myself sometimes, but my mom was with me most of the time. She has always loved animals, which is so funny. So like I've always had like animals around me.
okay. Yeah.
Whether that was our animals or like relatives' animals. So I've always liked to work with animals. And I was also in therapy. And my therapist, like, we were like talking about what I wanted to do. I'm like, bro, I hate people so much. Like, I do not want to work with people. And this is middle school me. So
Yeah.
mind you, this is in middle school. She was like, okay, well, you volunteer at the animal shelter. Why don't you work with animals? And I'm like, that's a great idea. So I'd always wanted to work with animals until probably high school, I would say. I changed career paths, or I changed career goals, I should
Mm-hmm.
say. And then I went to college. That didn't work out. Still in college.
You did work out. What do you
Criminal
mean? You just like,
justice.
oh, criminal.
My
Okay.
yeah,
Oh
my
yeah, you went to
Sam
Sam
Houston.
Houston.
Yeah, so I wanted to do criminal justice. So I strayed away from the animal path. And I can't say my current career choice as far as schooling is something that I wanted to
Aligned.
do.
Yeah.
It's not my current education is not one that I wanted. So it has
Okay.
always been animals, I would say. I always wanted to work with animals throughout middle school until high school. And then after high school, I was like, I need a job. I found one with animals. I'm going to take it because I would rather work with animals than people.
Fair
See, nothing's
enough.
changed since
Fair
middle
enough.
school.
You work with a lot of people though in your
Now
job
I
now.
do.
Yeah.
Now I work with a lot of people, but it's helpful, not helpful. It's required to help the animals.
That's such a good point.
So it's like that's the way that I see it is I'm helping the people help the animals.
Yeah.
So I'm still helping them, whether it's not hands-on with animals, but still like I'm still making a difference through the people.
Okay. I like that. That's so true. And it's such a big thing. A lot of people think you can get away from like working with people in animal welfare, and that's really not true. So that's a really good point. What about was there like because you started out as a tech, so I'm sure there's times in while you've been there where you've been like, because it's hard. Like rescue work can be very emotional. Is there like a case you can remember where you were like, I'm really making a difference. I want to stick around?
Tessa.
Tessa? Okay. Tell everybody about Tessa.
I literally cried. Whenever she put that, she didn't bite someone. She lunged at a kid.
Yeah,
Um, okay, so Tessa was a dog that we had pulled from, was it Galveston County?
it was Galveston
Galveston
County.
County.
True.
We had
Yes.
pulled her from the euthanasia list at the Galveston County Resource Center. She was a year old when we had pulled her, and she had been in the shelter for almost an entire year, so basically her whole life. Um, she was very, how do I explain her personality? She was the sweetest dog in the whole world, but she was broken.
Girl
And
had seen some things.
yeah,
Yeah.
she definitely had her issues. And I think that's so like, I don't know. I don't want to say like I see myself in her, but it's just like she had the sweetest personality. She loved love. Like she loved being loved. But then she had obviously her behavioral issues, which was just uncontrollable barking 24/7. Um,
Yeah.
sometimes lunging and growling. Um, what else would you say was like a behavioral issue?
Yeah, like she was just like if you knew her, you could read her, but she to a new person, she was very like
Unpredictable.
unpredictable is a good, yeah. Yeah. And so we worked with her for a really long time, and she went in and out of different situations. And well, why does it stick out? Is it because we were able to like find placement for her finally?
Because whenever we had an incident where she lunged at a kid, I literally cried. I'm like, I can't let this dog, because we had talked about what we were going to do with her.
Yeah.
Whether we were going to keep her in the program or potentially euthanize her, which we both didn't want to do, or none of us wanted to do.
Yeah.
But it was just like a case of like, what should we do? And I think had we gone the other route, that would have like sucked, because she's such an amazing dog and she deserved everything she has now, because now she's in a very loving home, very good home for her.
Yeah. No, that was pretty eye-opening. And I mean, I think like the behavioral stuff, we've talked about this recently too, is like it's really hard because as a nonprofit, we're always like worried about liability because you're adopting out animals, and it can be, you definitely don't want to put a person in a bad situation with a dog. You don't want to put a dog in a bad situation with a person. And the insurance is really strict, which like now running an organization, I've learned. So yeah, it was some difficult questions then, but we stuck it out with her. And yeah, shout out to Trainer. He was helpful. Trainer. Yeah.
He was the only person she would listen to.
Yeah, that's true. She's good at being like, no. That's what I've learned. Now I tell her, I'm like, no, don't do that. No, use your voice. But yeah. But she found her right person.
Yeah.
It's good. Okay, I like it. Lifeline has a unique approach to animal welfare. How would you describe our mission in a way that resonates with someone brand new to the field?
That's a deep question.
It was a deep question. Thanks, ChatGPT. I love ChatGPT. I like journaled and then I put it into ChatGPT.
That's good.
Yeah. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Can you answer this question? I have no idea how you want.
Sure, I can probably start how I want. I don't want you to answer it how you want to answer it.
Okay,
Lifeline has a unique approach to animal. So, we're very like I don't know, maybe we don't. Like, do we have a unique approach to animal welfare?
I was thinking the same thing.
I guess how would you describe mission in a way?
Unique rather than a normal shelter is,
I guess like if we had like a Venn diagram, we're like shelter rescue. We're like a weird like in between.
There is that in between.
Yeah.
I have to like make sure that I'm on our side and not the in between.
No, I think that's probably what makes us unique though, is like we have a facility.
Mm-hmm. Not a lot of rescues have a facility.
Not a lot of rescues have a facility. And we're also like babies though, like because the places that have facilities that are like nonprofits are like Houston SPCA, Houston Humane, CAP.
All the big boys.
All the big boys.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just was just like, let's jump in. Let's get a place. But it works. Like Jade's like, does it work?
Have you seen the floor?
Have you seen the floor? The floor of cement.
Have you seen the bathroom?
What's wrong with the bathroom?
Daisy. Was it not Daisy?
Oh, that was my fault. I put Daisy in there for like a minute because I didn't want to put her in the kennel, and she ate the door hinge. But it still closes. If you think that's bad, you should see my house. There's like the doors. They ate through like 2 doors.
I heard.
I fixed them though. I learned how to install a door by myself.
That's impressive.
See, I have fun. I do fun things. Like install doors in my house. Jade thinks I don't have a personal life.
If installing doors,
it makes me happy.
For better fun. You know, it's okay. It's okay, Caroline.
I have lots of dogs to keep me company. It's all good.
It's okay. Oh my God, I just realized my pants are covered in mud from Annie.
Annie. Tell everybody about Annie.
Yes, please adopt her. So
She's a dog, not a child. No.
She's a dog. She's a beautiful German Shepherd. If you go on our website, go all the way to the very bottom, and you'll see her little picture. She's 2 years old. She's a purebred German Shepherd. Unfortunately, her original owner passed away. And she was the person who's taking care of her was having housing issues, I think. Not 100% sure. And had to surrender her, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah, she had to surrender Annie. And Annie is truly my soulmate. Like I've never had a girl dog in my entire life.
Mhm.
Never. All my animals have all been males since my birth. So for 20 years.
Fair enough.
For 20 years and 6 months, there's only been male dogs in my life.
Yeah.
So I've never had a female. And like I'm learning so much. Like, and same with Lottie, same with my female cat. Like she's my first female. I'm learning so much about
Females. Hey, that's good. That's good.
She just has so much attitude and like the funniest way. Like if I am playing with her, she just is so insistent on like making weird faces at me. Like if I'm not playing with her correctly,
yeah,
she'll tilt her head at me, she'll paw at me, she'll like she does this thing where she'll drop her toy at like the end of the bed or the couch or whatever. And if it's too far away and I'm not grabbing it in time, she jumps on the bed or the couch, she grabs it and throws it at me. Like she literally throws it with her mouth, either at my face or on my like lap or something.
She's a very smart dog.
She is insistent. She's very persistent.
Yeah.
Persistent. One of those words. That like she gets her way. And I'm just like, girl, my male dogs, they're so stupid. Like, they don't do that. They just stare at you until you figure it out. While she's insistent that you play with her. She'll make you play with her. She does not care. She'll grab the toy and throw it in your, like, put it in your face, chomping on it, being like, grab my toy. I want my toy. Like, like wants to play with you. While my male dogs, they don't do that. I mean, they'll like grab the toy and like bring it to you, or they'll set it down, but they're very patient. Are women impatient? Next question.
That's probably true. I mean, I don't know.
Like my boys?
I think men are very simple, like not in a bad way. I love men, but men are just very like simple. Women are like, it's like the dog versus the cat, Yeah,
I guess.
Dogs are very like, obviously dogs have their unique personality like Annie, but cats are very like, no, like pet me when I want to be pet. I feel like that's very feminine.
Very feminine, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, back to Annie. I can go on and on about Annie because I've never had a dog that like is so in tune with like my emotions as she is. It probably is the German Shepherd in her. Yeah. But, like this dog, like I will like be coughing or sneezing or something, and she's like, "Bro, like what's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Girl, chill. I'm fine." Or if I'm sad or something, she immediately she'll like come lay next to me, which she doesn't do often. Yeah. She very much likes her personal space, which I respect that because the boys do not know anything about personal space. The boys they're very clingy. Yeah. Well, she likes her personal space. She likes to sit on her side of the couch or sit on her side of the bed or whatever. But if I'm sad or if I'm like feeling like overwhelmed, she comes right next to me and she's like, "Okay, tell me what's wrong." And then I'm like, I just pet her. I'm like, "Thank you. I needed this." So are you going to keep her? That's the big question. The big question everybody's wondering. Everybody wants to know. It's okay. You don't have to decide yet. I don't know. As much as I want to keep, She's playing the fate card right now. I am playing the fate card. I want her to keep her so bad. But if one of our viewers is like, "I'm going to go adopt Annie," I'm going to be like, "Please do." But I want her to have a good life. Like, I want her to have everything that she deserves and more. Because I am by myself right now. which isn't like a bad thing, which I love. That's what I love about her, is that she's such a girl's girl. Like, she loves my friends, like all my friends that come over. She's very much all like up on them and loves to play with them. Um, she loves to hang out with us. She loves to like watch TV with us. While, like I said, the boys are just like goofy. Like, they're reading and they are. Anyways, enough about the boys. More about Annie.
More about Annie.
I'm like, every time I think about the boys,
I love Annie. We should have had you bring Annie. We can bring dogs. I just learned this most likely. So maybe next time. I just wasn't sure.
She's so beautiful.
Unless she's adopted. She's a gorgeous dog.
I know. And she keeps being stood up.
She does keep getting stood up.
She's gotten stood up twice. Oh, what if they're watching this? Hopefully they don't watch this. Okay.
Well, don't stand dogs up.
I know. She's been stood up twice. So she had 2 potential adopters put in applications for her. And I reached out to them and they were going to meet her. And both of them never came, which is so annoying.
That's why I'm saying you're playing the fate card right now. Because you're like, yeah, if she gets adopted, but if not. But right now it seems like maybe she's meant to be for you. But
I wish. I just have to make sure she is just happy and healthy, because I live by myself. I can't take care of a dog that's depressed and sick.
That's depressed and sick? Okay, well.
Like Louie. Oh, did I tell you Louie's on Trazodone now?
Oh my gosh.
My dog's on anti-anxiety.
I don't know how I feel about that.
My potential service dog, because I'm training to be my service dog. Did I ever tell you about that? My potential service dog needs anxiety meds.
Yeah.
My dog that I have for anxiety needs anxiety meds. That's how anxious he is.
Poor Louie.
Yeah.
He needs some CBT in his life.
He does.
We need like doggy therapists. Maybe if this doesn't work out, that's what I'll try. That's what I'll try next.
Can I be your assistant?
Sure.
We
already work together well.
Clinic. Let's open.
I don't need any more projects.
Well, we can just.
ChatGPT told me I have too many projects. When I told it to roast me, that was one of the things it roasted me about. It's like, stop trying to start new projects.
What's the next question?
There's so many on here. Okay. Well, I don't know. What do you think? So there's a lot of joy in rescue, but also heartbreak. How do you personally balance emotional toll of the work? Do you feel like it's like emotionally tolling?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
But like, I've been in therapy since I met you.
It's like related to me. Uh-oh.
Since I started working for you.
Okay.
I've been in therapy since I started working.
Yes. So that's been helpful for you.
That's been very helpful.
It's helpful for me too. That's like one of the big reasons, because I see it. It's almost like any healthcare job, or like if you're like worked in EM. Like I did a little bit of work in like firefighter EMT world, and that's a lot of like traumatic things you're seeing too. And so I think like processing it as it happens is really important. So I think, yeah, that's a really good point. So that's been helpful.
So that's my answer. Therapy.
Okay. Therapy, like it. What are some of the biggest barriers to saving more animals, and how are we working to overcome them? The barriers.
The biggest barrier is
and
money.
Also money. That's so true.
That's the biggest barrier. That's like, money is everything nowadays. Nothing's free. Helping animals isn't free. It's, it should be, because, they are important. Like, healthcare is free. How we're gonna.
Well, I don't know if that's really true. That's probably a loaded question. But yes, I know what you mean. And that is true. I think money is one of our biggest barriers. It was maybe not the smartest thing starting a nonprofit with no life savings. But we're still around. We're still making it work.
It's been 5 years.
It's been 5 years. It's been 5 years.
That's a decade.
Thank you. I feel really old now.
Don't worry.
See, you always make me feel so old, Jade. It's okay. It's good. It's good.
Good to keep you grounded.
Good to keep me grounded. A lot of life experience in those 5 years. But, well, that's one of the big reasons that we were doing the podcast, is because we're trying to promote our monthly donor program, because we are still, 5 years seems like a long time for us, but in the scheme of like organizations that do have a physical building, those places have been around for like 50 plus years. So they have some more like sustained donors, and we're getting there. We have like a few major donors, but that's all relationship building. And so the monthly donor program, how that works is people can donate like $5, $10, $15, $20, $25 a month. And you can sign up on our website. It's right on our homepage. And that money goes to help us save the animals. That's a good thing. I mean, like, let's just be honest. So sometimes some of the things that we hear, and I know you hear this because you've told me, our adoption fees are higher than some of the other shelters. And so why is that?
Oh, because we spend a lot of money on the animals.
We do, but actually when we cut our, like, how much money we spent.
Oh, do you want me to say it's because of the facility, because of how much money we save?
No. So, okay, I can kind of lead it. So
yeah, please do.
Please do. You're like, I don't want to. So
I didn't know where you're going with that. Are you saying what we cover in the adoption fees? Or?
Well, kind of, but also we don't have any funding, so we don't have any government funding.
That's what you're going for. We don't have government funding.
We're a private org.
We have to do everything ourselves.
Yeah, and so when you look at like our expenses last year were like about 350,000. And so when you split it by how many animals we saved, it's about $375 an animal. Now, when you say we spend more on the animals, well, kind of, but when you cut like I cut Bark's numbers, so their budget is like something crazy. It's like $15 million. But they also bring in like thousands and thousands of animals. So when you cut it, we actually spend about the same amount per animal as Bark. So I'm like really passionate about that because I think that shows we're really efficient, and we also have a really high our live release rate last year was above 95%. And that includes like most of that 5% was neonatal kittens, which we took in so many neonatal kittens, and they don't have as high of a survival rate. So it wasn't like we were euthanizing that 5%, but
I don't think we euthanized anyone last year.
No, we did. We had a few like medical.
Who?
It was like less than 5. A lot of them were like medical cases that came in that like we probably didn't even really get to know very well. Like there was that cat that like its leg was almost off, and then in the middle of the night it had to go to the ER vet, and it was like the ER vet was going to try to remove it. It was going to be like $4,000. We were like, no, go ahead, go for it, we'll figure it out. And then she was like, no, the kittens, it's too far gone. Like cases like that, like really severe medical cases.
See, what was I doing in the middle of the night? Probably sleeping while you're doing this.
I try not to call you guys in the middle of the night for stuff like that. Yeah. Tell you in the morning.
All I can think about is you taking Goose to the hospital recently.
That was fun.
That sounded fun. See, like I had like the euthanasia, the cats that you euthanized last year. I literally can't remember a single one of them.
Yeah.
No.
It does not happen. It's not our go-to thing, but yeah, that's why the money is important. But our adoption fees are a little bit higher because some of these other places where you see like $50 adoption fees, etc., they have much higher budgets. And actually our adoption fees are relatively similar to HSPCA and Houston Humane. So the private facilities, this microphone, I talk with my hands a lot. So are more like the private facilities. Yeah, but like the municipal shelters, they have government funding. So that's why they're able to like do the adoption fees a little bit less. We also provide more. You're right. We do more vaccines and more follow-up care.
We also do, gosh, what was I going to say? We help the community a lot too. Which isn't cheap either. You know.
It is not. It is not.
Yeah.
We have our food bank. We do vaccine clinics, although we haven't been able to do that as much.
Free community that that's PetSmart.
Petco, yeah.
I was canceled by saying the wrong major corporate company.
That's okay. No, Petco Love gives out free vaccines to organizations like ours to give out. Yeah.
The community.
Okay.
While you were talking about like adoption fees, I just like all I can think about was the Beeble. How expensive the Beeble is. So I looked it up. It's according to Google, it's a designer dog breed. According to Google.
Okay.
I'm laughing at this.
Yes.
I think this is the stupidest thing ever.
What is it?
It's a English bulldog and a beagle.
Oh, well, we have some. What are Great Dane and Beagle? We have some. We have some Griegles.
Griegles?
We have some Griegle Danes. Griegle Danes.
Breeds.
They're designer.
Designer, guys. And they're only $175.
Yeah.
They're only
And they're spayed and neutered, and they're microchipped, and they're on heartworm prevention.
And we provide all of that. Unlike the Beebles that you're spending thousands of dollars on.
That was like a pet store website, right?
It was Petland.
Petland. Oh boy. Yeah. No, that's no good.
Beeble.
The Beeble. That's great. Okay. Let's see. What are Lifeline's biggest goals for the year, and how can people support them? Like, how can we support them?
We have our adoption goal. How much is it again?
The adoption, well, so we just did our strategic plan, like our 3-year strategic plan, and our goal is within 3 years to get to where we're adopting out over 2,000 animals a year. So there's that. And then we want to try to open a facility where we can house dogs because our lease is up next year. So that's a big one.
And you can support us by donating or adopting.
Yeah, definitely. And our adoption fees only make up like a third of our income every month, our expenses. So we have board meetings, I do our board meetings. And in January, I was like, we weren't in a deficit. It was like the first time we took in more money than we spent on the animals. And that's a big thing. I'm personally learning how to manage.
I think a big role in that has been our shift from taking in owner surrenders and Good Samaritan to shelter, because the shelters, a lot of the animals that we pulled from the shelters in January were already spayed and neutered. They already had their rabies and everything, so it's a lot less money that we're spending on them, and they were getting adopted out from us.
Yeah.
So we're getting the adoption fee without having to spend a couple $100 on them.
Yeah. Yeah, just trying to be more efficient and help those animals in the shelters, because they definitely need them. They need the help. And that was the whole point of the organization, was to help the animals in the shelters.
And I think we're doing an amazing job as far as doing that, because we have had so many of those cats get adopted the past 2 months.
Yeah.
Pretty much almost every day, at least we get one adoption that was from
We did an insane amount of adoptions in December. We did like 88 adoptions, or almost 90. So that might have been like our most record-breaking month. January was like 58, which is actually a little bit under what we usually do. Usually my goal is like 60 to 80. So it was a little under, but compared to January of last year, it was like, yeah. But February is usually a slower adoption month. That's what we realized. So we're really trying to push for that.
Valentine's Day. Who doesn't want it? Okay, guys. Come on, your girlfriend wants a kitten or a puppy.
Yes, that's the best Valentine's gift.
It's the best Valentine's gift. Who wants chocolate and roses? That's so outdated. No, give them a lifetime companion.
And you're going to look really hot because you're saving homeless animals, and that's super attractive.
Yeah,
right?
Don't go to Petland, guys.
That's not hot. Petland's not hot.
I mean, if you want to spend a couple $1,000s on a dog, just adopt it and then donate the money. So we still.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
then you're gonna look really cool because
you're helping
you help nonprofits that save animals. I love it.
Support small businesses, guys.
Yes.
That's for sure. Girlfriends.
I like it. That's a good message. That's a good message. All right. Well, we're getting close. We were shooting for like 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. So, do you have any questions for me on the spot, Jade?
No, I ask you questions every day.
You do ask me questions every day.
I just ask you as they come up, and right now there's nothing in my head.
There's nothing that's coming up. Okay, that's good.
Nothing that won't get us canceled.
Great. Appreciate that. Okay, let me think. Let's find one more good question to end it. If someone signs up as a monthly donor today, what does that actually mean for the animals in our care? Does that mean we can provide them better vet care?
Yeah. Honestly, that means we have the opportunity to help more animals. Oh, my nail got stuck. Okay, there it goes. Like, help the harder cases. Because as much as I would love to help out the animals with, like, the problem, like, the most healthcare problems, it isn't always the most
sustainable.
Yeah. Definitely isn't the most sustainable. But we love helping out the animals. We have we have Amelia, mm-hmm. We have Pecan, we have Benny, just a bunch of animals who need that extra support financially mm-hmm. from us. So becoming a monthly donor means we'll be able to help more cases like that today. Like, we could literally go to the shelter right now and find, let's go find a Parvo puppy. I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Like, we
definitely
that like more animals in need, because those are the animals, unfortunately, which really sucks. In the shelter, those are the most likely to be put down. So those are the ones who need our help the most. Not as much as the cute little kittens that are going to get adopted right away, as much as we love those kittens, we also do need to help the ones like those.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the whole point, but we're definitely trying to like be sustainable. So I think that was a beautiful answer. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you for doing this with me, Jade. The very first one, I know it was like kind of scary. So I appreciate you being brave.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I like your nails. Those are cute.
Oh, have you seen them?
I know. Those are really
yesterday. Cute. It felt like charms fell off. I'm so sad.
But that's good. I took mine off because they were so bad,
Yeah, I know.
Those are beautiful.
Thanks.
Okay, they said do an outro, but I don't really know what that means. I'm sure I'll learn. But
bye, guys.
Bye.